Hey! You hit me! My son has just hit me. And I don't know why. I was petting you. You were purring. And now you're gonna act like nothing has happened. Well, at least say hello. Say hello. Luke, come on. Perhaps he's upset I have put the shades down. And I had to put the shades down because it is overcast outside, and honestly, my one lamp reflecting off of my white shades and my white walls gives me plenty of light for a video. Love living where it's overcast a lot of the time. Tried this new curl refresh spray on my hair. It's like day after refresh spray, and I think it actually worked pretty well. But also, the ends of my hair are getting a little dead, so probably within the new year I will be getting a trim so that way all my hair can be as lively as it can be. Though, even though, isn't your hair already dead when it comes out of your head? I'm not thinking about that. Because today I am going to be going over the books that I have purchased from August to November. I was originally going to do this as August to December, but I decided because I don't buy anything for myself from Thanksgiving until Christmas, because I give a wish list to my family with titles, specific titles for books that I want, because sometimes they don't know what books I want and I don't want them guessing. I decided to do August to November, and then I'm going to do a holiday haul, which I'm going to show all the books that I got for the holidays, whether gifted or purchased myself. So I think that will be a nice little way to kind of tie all those books together. So I have 7 books just for this half of the year. If you watch my book haul from January to July, I think I got just 7 books in July. So definitely calmed down once I got home from my trip to Texas, but I still purchase books because I love them. If you're hearing coughing and sniffling, that is my nephew. He's home right now, trying to see if he needs me. Kaden? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay, where are you? You're just right outside my door. What do you need?
It's the table's birthday.
It's the table's birthday? Okay, well, happy birthday to the table.
You're not invited for a birthday.
What?
You're not invited.
Oh, I'm not invited to his birthday party, though.
I don't like your name.
He doesn't like my name?
No.
What a rude table. Let us get into these books. Also, I went through all of these books to confirm what publishing house they all go through because of the HarperCollins Union strike. Even though it's not like a review of any of these books because I haven't read any, it almost feels like a review to be sharing them. So I didn't want to share any HarperCollins books, whether it was HarperCollins specifically or one of their imprints, but all 7 of these books are not HarperCollins, so we will go that way. And if you want more information on the strike from HarperCollins, they do have both a TikTok and an Instagram account. I will try and put the @ here on the screen, but I will also link both of the profiles down below so you can check them out and learn a little bit about the strike if you don't already know about it. But the workers of HarperCollins are striking for better working conditions, better pay, better wages, diversity, and they are asking readers and creators. You can still purchase books from HarperCollins to support authors, but they're just asking not to review books. If you have read a book and you want to review, write the review down, keep it safe, but on like where you would put reviews, put a review, don't rate it, don't put a star rating, and just say you're withholding it until the union gets their contract, and then after that, you can post it. So the first book that I actually got it at a thrift store with the second book in the list. My aunt and cousin, who I saw actually in July. We were there for my cousin's birthday. They came in August for another cousin's birthday. They were coming around, and my aunt and my mom, they love thrift stores. So do I. I love getting things for a discount. And I always beeline it to books. And I found a book by Carol Burnett, which is This Time Together, Laughter and Reflection. And I have always really liked Carol Burnett. My mom is in love with the Carol Burnett show. I think that's really funny. And I loved Carol Burnett in the original Annie movie. At least I think it's the original Annie movie. Whichever one she's in with Tim Curry. Loved that one. And so I decided to get this. And while I was looking, trying to find the publishing house, I found this. So I think it's a signed copy. I don't know if that's actually Carol's signature or somebody trying to pretend to be Carol Burnett and signing it. I think I may have found a signed Carol Burnett book at a thrift store. And if I did, that's very cool. So I'm going to have to look into that. The next book that I got at that thrift store with my aunt and my cousin was People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. This book is blowing up, or has been blowing up, for like the past 2 years on TikTok, mainly that I've seen. I haven't really seen it on Instagram. And I want to get more into adult books, so I decided this one, it was actually pretty cheap at the thrift store that I went to, so I decided to get it. Also, the cover's orange, so I was like, yeah, we'll give it a try. Heard mixed reviews as well on People We Meet on Vacation, as well as just like a lot of Emily Henry. So we'll see how I feel about it. The next book in August that I got was actually a book by somebody that I know, and I've been meaning to get their book for a while now, and that is the Reaper Chronicles, and this is by F.T. Scott. This is F.T. Scott's first book, and they're a family friend. I have known him since I was a baby, so I wanted to support him by getting his book, and it's a very small little book. I was going to try and read it in October, and that just didn't happen, so we'll see if we can get to it next year in October. It's like a quick little, spooky-esque read. The next book starts September. There's only 2 books for September, and the first one is actually a pre-order that I got. That is Nona the Ninth by Tamsin Muir, the third and I believe final book in the Locked Tomb trilogy. It says trilogy, so like that's what's making me assume it's the last book, but yeah. And I have only read Gideon, but I do have Harrow and I do have Nona, so I will hopefully be getting to both of these soon. Perhaps once I read Harrow, I'll just pick up Nona right after. So let's see if this is like the first full week in December that I'm recording, but it's the end of it. So we'll see if the last like 2.5, 3 weeks of December I can get more books in. Now, the second book I purchased in December, I purchased this as a gift to me because in September I got COVID for the first time. But once her and I were both negative and we were safe, I went to Walmart to purchase groceries. And I decided, after walking away from the clearance section, because my family, we just migrate straight to the clearance section, I stopped at books and I wanted to get myself something. And I decided to pick up Heartstopper Volume 1 by Alice Oseman. And I know it is a Netflix show now. I'm very happy that I got the original cartoon cover, even though the adaptation cover looks very similar to this. I just think the art style is very cute. And so I know that there's a lot of people who love this series, and I think it's very cute, and it's also a graphic novel. So I'm also thinking I might read this and my other graphic novels that I have to try and bulk up my reading percentage, because I can get through graphic novels pretty quick, about depending on their size, about a day or 2. So I may do that. So I may read Heartstopper before the end of the year. Now, this book I got in October. I actually got it for free, so all of these books I paid for. The next 2 books I did not. What was happening in October, my city was doing this trick-or-treat thing on our main street. It was businesses would have something outside, whether it was candy or a little sample of something they do. We went to one store and they were giving adults free crystals, so I got one that was great for creativity. That was really cool. And then we passed by, I don't know if it was the governor's office or the mayor's. I'm not sure. I don't even remember whose name was on it. they had a bunch of books from the Library of Congress that the Library of Congress had just sent them. And they're like, we don't have room for these. You take them. They're free. Trick or treat sort of deal. And so I made my family wait probably longer than they wanted to at this particular stall. The book I picked out was For the Wolf by Hannah Witten, which is a Red Riding Hood retelling. And I have been interested in this book, so very excited that I was able to get it for free. And if I really like it, which, you know, the cover's really pretty, I think the concept's really cool, I may get the next book. It's not a series, but I think it's like a new retelling, like a different retelling sort of series. But that was this one, and it was very cool that either my governor or my mayor's office or one of my representatives were just giving out books that the Library of Congress had been sending them for people. All right, and now the last book that I got between August and November is another free one, and it is actually, again, a book that I was able to get for free from my university, from the president, Paul LeBlanc. He wrote Broken, and this is how our social systems are failing us and how we can fix them. Earlier this year, I also got Students First by him for free from my university, and so they offered this one as well. So I am looking forward to, I will try and get these ones next year, since I'm, you know, in classes with Southern New Hampshire University, where he's the president of. I will try and get to these books next year to see what research and what Paul, you know, has in here, because as a student of this university, some of the things that he's put out, he does truly care about the students, or at least from my perception he does. So I'd love to see how he puts that care and thought into words here. All right, and those are the 7 books that I got or purchased between August and November. Looking forward to reading them soon and getting them on my shelf, and then seeing what I'm going to get for the holidays as well. But let me know if you've read any of these, if you have any feelings or things that I should know about them or the authors. Let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys in another new video soon. A bientôt!